Our next poet is another well-known, treasured poet who supports many of us, Franci Louann. She is also known as Franci Louann Workman. And if you look up Fran Workman, I really encourage you to do so. You'll find some amazing poetry. You try and hide Bernice and Fran. Franci Louann Workman grew up in southwestern Ontario from Stratford. She's lived around BC and in Argentina. 44 of her poems mention New Westminster. She books Poetic Justice and is a very fine host of that series. And she has worked in Anvil Centre's first art show. She suggests a found poem using our chosen lines. Come on out, Franci.
Waiting for Daddy. In my place behind the wood stove, I read George Washington Carver's biography, my favorite book from the Little Red Schoolhouse. Tires crunch on gravel, screen door creaks. I announce, Daddy's home! This I found in my own poems, written one New Westminster winter. A memory of my own daddy. Maybe this is the poem. This makes me want to ask, where did you wait? Did your daddy come home? Was he changed? Did this photo comfort you? Your mother? Did you catch your father's hand? Your mother yours? Surely you cried. Did she? Did he? Many round the world have wept with this image. Wait for me, Daddy, the famous photo by Claude B. Detloff of the Daily Province. Little blonde boy, did you get to shout, as so many cannot? Daddy's home.
Don't you love it when the audience makes that poet listening sound?
Yes.
Isn't it great? I do, and we do, because it's in our heart now, right? Yeah, thank you. Thanks to all of you. Now, it's again my great pleasure to introduce a fine poet and a wonderful supporter of other poets, Alan Hill, in his beautiful blue shirt. Alan is the author of 2 collections of poetry and has been published in over 40 periodicals in Canada, the UK, and the USA. He emigrated to Canada from England in 2005, is a proud resident of New Westminster, and I have to say, also a great host at Poetic Justice and many other poetry events. Look forward to hearing your poem.
Thank you. Excuse the funny accent. Wait. But he didn't wait. Not then. Maybe he wanted to, but could not. My daddy and I, owned by everyone now, the public wanted him and got him. Took me too, although I came to live with that. When he did come back, he always wore that space. Had that picture there to tell him who did not return. And then what? The marriage gone, the packing away of death, of all that could not be talked about. And anyway, what good was it to talk about everyone was hoping to forget? He got himself a suit, other loves, new confidants, a brand new fishing rod, eventually a job. This small boy that he had left, who had become a man, sometimes a stranger, whom he hoped he had done enough for, who just maybe would never have to see what he had seen. Thank you.
Wonderful. I love the way the poets that you've chosen, judges, embrace all facets of the war experience. So it's very lovely. Our next poet sadly has not been able to make it, I believe. Jazz Gill, right, is away and she had to work. And I just wanted to recognize her and say her name. And I always think of people who have to work and can't make their own cultural creative moments, right? And it's important to recognize that. So yay, Jazz. And let's give her a round. You're such an amazing audience. I love that. Now my dear, dear friend, Janet Kvammen. Talk about someone who supports poets and supports arts. You're pretty special.
Yeah.
You're a photographer, an artist, a poet of many passions. She's the director of the Royal City Literary Arts Society, RCLAS. She has art featured in the Wait For Me Daddy exhibit that Liliana spoke about at the Anvil Center here. And she writes this, I love it so much. She thrives on creativity! Exclamation mark. It's good for the soul! Come on up.
Thank you so much. I've been thrilled to be a part of this project. I'm just so thrilled about it. Thank you so much, Kyle. Waiting for the world to change. For the children who prayed each night, come back, Dad. I need you too. An October sky, the color of mourning doves, veils the city of New Westminster. Lines of BCRs bravely wave goodbye. Duke of Connaught's own rifles stand strong together, filling the 8th Street Hill, far as the eye can see. Everyone out to wish them off. A 5-year-old boy with a shock of white hair breaks from his mother's grasp as he desperately tries to catch up. Dad, wait for me. Daddy, don't go. Take me with you. Wait. Out of the blue, a camera flashes. Province reporter Claude P. Detloff captures the scene, soon to spread across the world wide. Frozen in time. Life magazine, October 21st, 1940, page 37. Mommy says, Daddy is going somewhere you can't go. Come back here and stay close to me. Mom is mad at me. What is going on? So many soldiers, loved ones left behind, take turns embarking on a ship, first to Nanaimo for training, then off to Europe to fight a war. 74 years ago, still waiting for change. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Our next poet is Alan Gerling, and his bio is thus. Alan Gerling writes fiction, creative nonfiction, plays, and poetry. These days, for some reason, it's mainly poetry. His work has been featured online, in journals and anthologies, on the radio, at live readings, and in a few shop windows. He lives in Richmond, BC. Please come on up, Alan.
Thank you very much. My poem is called Take My Hand. What can a small boy know of marching, ocean crossings, long, lonely nights in a foreign land? What of the call to duty, orders to engage, and the ensuing battleground conflagrations? That is, what can he really know of who his father has become and who he will be in the days, months, years ahead? All he sees now from the sidewalk sidelines as he waits anxiously with his mother is the endless stream, men, their green khakis, service caps, rifles, the way they stride in unison, marching off to a great adventure. What he too desperately wants, to be among them, alongside, experiencing again what he does know so well, The feeling that comes with bedtime stories, bounces upon knees, backyard airplane rides, games of catch. And whenever, on a crowded downtown street, he runs up to his father, his daddy, who reaches out and says, always with such love, "Come along, son, take my hand." Thank you.
Aw.